Oman Television with the 8 o'clock news bulletin. First, the headlines. His Excellency the Foreign Minister affirms significant progress in the US-Iran negotiations in Geneva as both countries agreed to resume them after consultations in their capitals. Pakistan and Afghanistan exchange airstrikes amid calls for de-escalation and restraint. And Russia and Ukraine exchange drone attacks as peace efforts to end the conflict continue. Good evening once again, and thank you for joining us. Those were the headlines, and now the news in detail. Indirect negotiations between the United States and the Islamic Republic of Iran have made notable progress, according to His Excellency Sayyid Badr bin Hamad Al Busaidi, the foreign minister, speaking after the conclusion of the latest round of talks in Geneva. He said discussions achieved a significant headway and will resume following consultations in both capitals. Here is a report on that.
A third round of indirect negotiations between the United States and Iran has concluded in Geneva, with the Sultanate of Oman continuing to serve as a key mediator between the two sides. The talks were held in morning and evening sessions in what officials described as a constructive and serious atmosphere. Dialogue was conducted indirectly, with Omani facilitation helping to maintain communication between Washington and Tehran amid ongoing tensions. According to officials familiar with the discussions, the latest round saw progress on core issues, including Iran's nuclear program and the framework surrounding sanctions. Both sides reportedly engaged in detailed exchanges aimed at narrowing remaining gaps. Technical teams are now expected to convene in Vienna next week to address outstanding points as momentum builds toward a fourth round of negotiations in what diplomats describe as a renewed push for a sustainable agreement.
Meanwhile, a telephone call took place between His Excellency Sayyid Badr bin Hamad Al Busaidi, Foreign Minister, and His Excellency Ignacio Cassis, Vice President of the Federal Council and Head of the Federal Department of Foreign Affairs of the Swiss Confederation. His Excellency the Foreign Minister expressed his thanks and appreciation for the efforts exerted by the Swiss side in facilitating logistical procedures and creating a conducive environment for holding consultations and meetings related to the US-Iranian negotiations currently being mediated by the Sultanate of Oman in Switzerland. The two sides exchanged views on the ongoing mediation efforts and reviewed their progress towards achieving their shared objectives for success. Both sides also noted the spirit of cooperation between the Sultanate of Oman and Switzerland, affirming their commitment to continue joint work in a way that serves mutual interests, supports stability efforts, and enhances regional security. 5 Palestinians were killed in Israeli airstrikes on various areas of the Gaza Strip. The civil defense in Gaza reported that 3 Palestinians were killed in an Israeli airstrike in the Al-Maslach area southwest of Khan Yunis, while 2 others were killed and several others wounded in an Israeli airstrikes north Al-Bureij refugee camp in the central Gaza Strip. The Israeli occupation continues its violations of the ceasefire and its daily targeting of civilians. More than 600 Palestinians have been killed since the truce came into effect on October 10th. Pakistan launched an airstrike targeting the Afghan capital Kabul and the provinces of Kandahar and Paktika. The Pakistani Minister of Defense stated that the strikes included air-to-surface missile attacks on military administrative headquarters and positions, as well as ground clashes in several sectors along the border between the two countries. The ministry said the attack was in response to an Afghan attack targeting a Pakistani Afghani border area. For its part, the Afghan army stated that its attack against Pakistan forces was a response to Pakistani airstrikes targeting Afghan cities. These incidents came amid intermittent tensions in the border region between the two countries in recent times. For its part, the Chinese Foreign Ministry expressed its deep concern over the escalating tensions on the border between Pakistan and Afghanistan. Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson Mao Ning stated during a press conference that Beijing is mediating the conflict through its own channels, indicating her country's readiness to play a constructive role in de-escalating the situation. The Russian-Ukrainian war is witnessing rapid changes more than 4 years after its outbreak amid continued escalation on the ground and exchanges of attacks between the two sides. Meanwhile, diplomatic efforts continue to find a way out of the crisis amidst the complicities of the negotiations process and differing positions on ending the conflict. Are watching the Sultanate of Oman television, and later to come in our news bulletin, the Omani-Bahraini Bazaar is inaugurated, reinforcing efforts to deepen fraternal relations and advance economic integration between the Sultanate of Oman and the Kingdom of Bahrain. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. OQ Group has issued a tender for the engineering design of a natural gas liquids NGL extraction plant in Sahn Haida with a processing capacity of up to 48 million cubic meters per day. This strategic step aims to enhance the energy sector and maximize the added value of natural gas in the Sultanate of Oman. The project will be integrated with a pipeline to transport the products to the Duqm Special Economic Zone, along with fractionation, processing, storage and export facilities. The extracted NGLs will be transported for fractionation and export, as well as for use in the petrochemical and downstream industries. In a step to reinforcing sustainability and community partnership, the second edition of Health Endowments Week concluded in Al Irfan City, affirming health endowments, a growing national pillar supporting Oman's healthcare future. I was present at this event and I have made this report. The second edition of Health Endowment Week concluded in a distinguished ceremony held in Al Irfan City, marking a confident step towards institutionalizing health endowment as a sustainable pillar supporting Oman's healthcare system and aligning it with the goals of Oman Vision 2040. The event reaffirmed the first week of the blessed month of Ramadan as a fixed annual date for this national initiative, reflecting the spirit of giving and strengthening a culture of sustainable charitable contribution. Organized by the Athar Health Endowment Foundation, the ceremony included the signing of new strategic agreements to implement impactful healthcare projects across governorates, focusing on specialized treatment, support, medical equipment provision, and enhanced patient care. It also witnessed the launch of the Health Endowment Shield, Sustainable Impact Medical, honoring individuals and institutions for their lasting contributions to the community health.
Our goal is to make health endowment a strong and sustainable support for the healthcare system. By working closely with our partners and managing resources transparently, we aim to ensure that every contribution makes a real and lasting difference in people's lives.
The foundation emphasized that health endowment in Oman has evolved into structured national pathway grounded in governance, transparency, and measurable outcomes, enhancing sustainability, improving service quality, and reinforcing community partnership across the Sultanate of Oman. Under the patronage of His Excellency Engineer Ghalib bin Saeed Al Ma'mari and the Secretary of the Ministry of Commerce, Industry and Investments Promotion for Commerce and Industry, the Omani Bahraini Bazaar was inaugurated at the Mall of Oman, reinforcing efforts to deepen fraternal relations and advance economic integration between the Sultanate of Oman and the Kingdom of Bahrain. Here is more to learn.
Over 4 days, visitors to the Mall of Oman in Muscat are welcomed by a setting where tradition meets enterprise. The Omani Bahraini Bazaar has brought together nearly 30 exhibitors from both countries under one roof, presenting a diverse collection of products shaped by heritage, craftsmanship, and entrepreneurial ambition.
Sichilia Art is an Omani brand to present the heritage of Oman and all the world. It's candles, but it's made of art. It's special because we made it with ourselves with eco-friendly materials. And especially it's Omani and it's different totally. The candles of Halwa Omaniya, I presented in Al-Eid inshallah. And it's very creative with my own idea. And I hope everyone like it because it's Omani soul, and especially in Eid, it will present joy and decoration in every family.
The exhibition, which runs until the 28th of February, aims to enhance trade exchange by creating direct connections between producers and consumers. It also provides small and medium enterprises with a platform to introduce their brands, expand their networks, and access new markets.
Our participation in this exhibition is an opportunity for us as Omani business owners to exchange ideas and experience with our friends from Bahrain and to open the door for us to benefit from the opportunities available at this exhibition.
I really liked the whole place in general. It really inspired me, and I loved the abayas and traditional clothing for Eid especially. And they're really pretty and nice, and they're decorated with many like sparkles and nice beautiful colors. So I really liked them honestly, and I would get it.
Displays range from traditional garments and perfumes to incense, sweets, and handcrafted heritage items, reflecting the cultural richness of the Sultanate of Oman and the Kingdom of Bahrain. Here, the long-standing brotherly ties take on a new dimension, opening wider horizons for entrepreneurs in both countries. Reporting from Muscat, this is Saleh bin Khalfan al-Rahbi.
You're watching the Sultanate of Oman television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. His Excellency the Foreign Minister affirmed significant progress in the US-Iran negotiations in Geneva as both countries agreed to resume them after consultations in their capitals. Pakistan and Afghanistan exchange airstrikes amid calls for de-escalation and restraint. And Russia and Ukraine exchange drone attacks as peace efforts to end the conflict continue. And with that, we come to an end of tonight's news bulletin. May this Ramadan be a turning point towards mercy, forgiveness, and lasting goodness to you all. May it bring peace to your homes, clarity to your hearts, and strength in faith and purpose. From all of us here in the newsroom, we thank you and good night to you all.